Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 54, of the Sickcast, aka the Siblings in Cardboard podcast. I'm your host, Noah, joined by my buddy slash co-host, Thomas and Donnie. Good to say that name again. Welcome back, Donnie, again. Whether you're a veteran card gamer or a first-timer just testing the waters, we're all siblings in cardboard. Guys, I know I'm so excited to get into this. How have things been since we talked last? And Thomas, I talked to you recently. I know how things are doing for you. But Donnie, how have things been, bud?
Well, I finally got through those 2 classes, and I'm down to just 1 class a month again. And the stress levels are night and day. I've actually been able to spend some time upstairs, away from my computer, and spending time with my kids and with my wife and watching TV and actually interacting with my family again, and that has been fantastic. And additionally, I actually made it out to Johns Creek on Tuesday for an armory for the first time in literally 2 months. It was phenomenal. Everybody started clapping and cheering when I came in the door. It made me, honest to goodness, it made me feel like I was coming home. I mean, you guys know me. I'm kind of an emotional, sappy person.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
It got me in the heart, man. It really felt good. Shout out to the Johns Creek guys. I miss you guys.
That family is real. That's why we're all siblings. And trust me, though, that Tuesday crowd, I felt the same way just being able on Saturday to see all the people again, like Will and it was so much fun. I mean, it felt so good to just get out there, play with the cards, and oh, dude, it felt amazing.
Fab family. That's exactly right. That is exactly what it feels like. And I missed everybody. I really did.
Miss you too.
What else to say?
Johns Creek is sweet. Well, definitely the best place to play Flesh and Blood in Georgia, in my opinion.
I agree. I went 3-1 in the armory. Started off getting absolutely wrecked by Chris on Aurora. My first time ever playing against Aurora, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't bring AB. I thought she was just like breakpoint.deck and didn't use a lot of arcane stuff, and I wasn't gonna worry about it. That was a mistake. Turns out that was a mistake. I at least wanted AB1. I didn't know that at the time. He hit Sigil of Suffering with Channel Lightning Valley out 3 times. And there was nothing I could do about it.
It's like test of strength.
It felt bad.
It's like test of strength, but it can't miss, right? If you don't have AB, you're getting toasted by that card.
It was really, really good. That game was not close. It just really wasn't. Then I played. Let's see. The next game was Ocilio, and that game was not close in my favor. Then I played Verdance, and that was a weird game. I expected that one to go differently, but I managed to get that one as well. And then the last round was against Vincent, and it was Will's like it was his first night actually trying to play Vincent, and there was a few things that I had to coach him through and let him know what was going on. But it was a really good game. I mean, I expected Vincent to really run me over, but he left the widespread annihilations in, so I got to throw those. And
oh boy,
yeah.
I usually leave them in versus New as well because I like killing New with those cards. But New versus Vincent is definitely this very epic game of chicken where New says, I'm going to give you a bunch of blood debt. And then sometimes Vincent says, cool, I'm going to attack with all 3 cards that you just put into my banish zone.
Yeah.
Like if you ever go, okay, I'm going to put 3 blue Deathly Whales in your banish zone. And then the next turn you see the Vincent banish a Blood Moon, you should hold on to your pants because
Deathly Whale is a scary card. It is a scary, scary card.
The value on it's amazing. I mean, like just you get your life back from pinging. Well, they don't play that weapon anymore, but you get your life back technically if you pinged yourself with Blood Debt. You also get the life back from hitting you. I mean, it's a good card. Its value's big.
I don't know. I'd have to play test more to actually see if I'd want to take widespread annihilation out because that's how you kill people. That's like your kill people card. Love that card. So
I mean, it's good, and it felt real good throwing it at him. But
oh yeah, that's
Nim's whole thing though.
I bet it felt really good playing somebody else's cards, didn't it?
Yeah, attack for 6, and if they don't block it, they lose a card from hand. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Unless they wanted to banish 2 cards. and then they got
I
you.
mean, that's possible.
But you still have got to swing for 6 for free, and sometimes even give it go again and swing for 6 again, and then it starts getting kind of gross.
He ended up summoning Nazareth for the first time in that game, and I just ignored it. I was able to just ignore the demon on the board. It was an interesting game.
I remember when somebody first Nazareth me at Battle Hardened Atlanta for like almost 24 damage in one turn, and was just like, yeah, I casually just had exactly 6. Here's Nazareth, and I was just like, what's going on here?
Guys, so I was playing Evan in Armory this past weekend on Friday, and he was on Fi because he's just basically testing out ninja cards and stuff in preparation for Ira. So I have 2 Malefic incantations out, the one that generates a rune chant when you attack. And
both red, I assume?
No, actually I'm running 3 reds, 2 yellows. The card is that gas.
No, I mean, I think so.
So I have Oblivion in my arsenal, and I have a Revel of Runeblood in my hand. And
I know where this is going.
Yeah. So I deathly wailed. I had 3 rune chants in play. I deathly wailed him. And I ended up playing a Blood Moon at some point during that too, taking life so the deathly wail gets 2 rune chants, but the Malefic procs. And then I creepers out Revel and Runeblood to go to 6 rune chants, play out the Nazareth, succumb him, swing with another attack, and then swing with Nazareth. It was a 30-point turn.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I think I can't remember if this was Talishar or in Paper Game. Probably one of my favorite sequences ever that I did is I started off with 4 rune chants. I did Machinations of Dominion, the one that gives it overpower and go again. So I swung with Widespread Annihilation for 6 and 4 rune chants, and then they can't block it out. They can't just like throw everything at it because they can only block 1 card. So I break chain. And so they pitched 2 cards and blocked 1 card, then lost a card to the other one. So I break chain, they have no cards out. And so then I go, well, Mav Skies, 6 more, make 3 rune chants. Mav Skies, 6 more, make 3 rune chants. Swing weapon. And both the Mav Skies were on Deathly Wails too.
Oh, that's gross. That is absolutely gross.
So
dude.
Vincent's got some really crazy sequences that can go into the 30 damage marks now. Like I think she had those before, but they're a little bit more consistent now that you have things like Machinations of Dominion and you have Malefic Incantation. It's like everything. You don't even read the runes anymore because Dirge and Malefic just cover all your rune chant generation.
You still run I'm assuming the deck's still running. Wait, oh, you're saying no, so no incantations. So there's no red incantations?
No, you run the 3 Malefic, red Malefics, 2 yellow Malefics. You don't read the runes anymore. You don't need it.
Okay, but you still run the other Runeblood incantation, right? The one that does
sideboard for me. Some people main them. I sideboard them for longer games.
I mean, look, Malefic does it just as good.
Malefic does almost everything you want to do, right? Because a lot of times you don't need the first set of rune chants unless you screwed up and let rune chant empty at the end of a turn, which you try not to do. Usually your problem is you can't extend because you don't have any way to make rune chants after your initial hit. Malefic solves that problem.
Malefic, because as soon as you play it, you're getting at least 2 rune chants. Plus, if a thing hit and it gains a rune chant, now you have 3. Now you throw another attack, you get another rune gate, or just extend. Yeah, no.
Yep.
Makes sense.
It also like opens up if you're not running like Revel and a runic incantation and all the 1-cost auras, it also completely opens up your tunic counter just to abuse spellbound creepers. So that's kind of what I build around. Anyway, that got long-winded for a small recap because we got some more recapping to do, but I'd like to get the market minute knocked out. I bet some cards are expensive. We
can do it. Look, there's a lot of things that are expensive. I don't know. Like, I feel like we could spend all day on it.
I was trying to tell my daughter like the value of some of these cards, and I held up 6 cards to her and said, "These are $500," and she's like, "What?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
cardboard would be expensive.
A play set of Warmongers and a play set of Command and Conquer, $500.
Warmonger is at like $75. It's not on my list, but just so you guys know, I think that card will hit 90 plus, especially in this meta for sure.
Oh yeah.
CNC's at 92, but if it hit $100, I wouldn't be surprised. And so, yeah, I mean, you're looking at almost $500 right there just to get in the game. We're going to talk about quite a few cards. One of them, I think, is on that same level in terms of needing it. And just, I mean, I don't think it should come as any surprise, but all the tunics went up across the board, no matter what set it came out from.
Too.
And so I just wanted to quickly touch on the tunic prices. They all do the same thing. They all just come from different places. So the Crucible of War that's non-foil is now $108. It's seen about a 20% increase. I mean, you know, it's had a low of about 90, but you know, it's jumped up about 10 or 20 bucks. Even History Pack has gone up a little bit. I think most of the tunics have sit around the 90, 95 mark, and they're now all above 105, 110. The Bright Lights tunic is at 115 for some reason. I don't know. Maybe people just like that one a little bit more, so it's had a little bit more of an increase. And then the Welcome to Wraith one has shot back up a little bit. It's sitting at $160 for the rainbow foil.
Wait,
that's actually the highest it's been.
WTR is 160.
Yeah, the high.
Wow. Dang, I didn't know that.
WTR is 160. And so if we look back at like July, August, I mean, it was as low, 115. So it feels nice to see some of those cards pop back up. And so just wanted to point on that really quick. And then we're going to get into a couple of cards that are out of control. I mean, I don't know if everybody's ready for this, but Codex of Frailty has almost actually hit $100 a card. It's at 94 right now. I didn't think it'd be possible. I mean, I did, but I didn't think it'd be this
interesting
possible.
Because there's nothing new. There's nothing driving a big surge for Codex except for maybe a Japanese market.
Maybe.
I mean, Uzuri did win the Pro Tour, and people may still be trying to pick that up.
Dude, no, the guy who won the Pro Tour said Uzuri is unplayable right now. So I don't know about that. New is still perfectly playable.
I mean, she was, well, we'll get to that, but yeah, she's not terrible, which works for me. I'm happy to have her for a longer period of time. So I didn't want her to be A tier or top of A tier for forever.
I think she still is.
I think she's definitely still
she's in A tier, but she's not at the top. The fact that Aurora and Enigma are so popular right now and winning so much.
New has a good Enigma matchup though, contrary to popular
Aurora
belief.
blocks like trash. So
that's true.
New can.
Noah,
New
what
can
are you
beat up
smoking,
on
buddy?
New has an okay Enigma matchup. Take the pieces, a hell of a drug.
She can win. It is possible.
It's not hopeless, I'll say that, but good, bruh.
It's pretty bad.
Well, you gotta be at least 60-40.
No, I would say 75-25.
It's still better than 80-20 on old him days. We'll take it.
It's between 30 and 40% Enigma favored. New has a 30 to 40% chance of winning that game.
I would say it's worse now that Enigma kind of main boards Dense Blue Mist.
Yeah,
this card is crazy. So
I've been seeing those cards get picked up.
I hate that card.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's in preparation too. I think that's the one that -1, right?
It's not just the -1, though. The -1 is very good. It's also if you pitched a chi to play this, on hits don't do anything.
Oh yeah, so news attacks are like
brutal,
like paper. No on hit, go again. No on hit this. No on hit that. Nothing.
No, it's so funny. Because even in like playing Dash.io, I don't even play the high octane. I've done twin drive, double boost, and they just immediately Dense Blue Mist. And I'm like, I have the max V, and you see the 2 grenades out there. I hate you.
I mean,
because now I've burned 8 cards out of my deck just to throw 18 damage and watch 2 grenades go away because of Dense Blue Mist.
Yeah, no on hits.
All right, what else?
Okay. Yeah, 94. So and the other cards are still kind of settling. I mean, we talked a little bit about it. Grasp is 135. It's still sitting up there. Creeper's 158 or something like that. So I mean, they're expensive, but
Both busted.
Vexing Quill Hand has shot up 600%. It's now a $10 just regular old Majestic, which I think is actually pretty crazy. Not surprising by any means. I'm sure the cold foil has also probably rocketed up a little bit.
When I first saw that card, I thought it was legendary. Like, imagine if Goliath Gauntlets had AB1 on it.
Right.
It's really good. Like, I was surprised it was Majestic when I first saw it.
Yeah, it could. Well, it's an Everfest, right? So Everfest is a crack
Yeah,
set.
it's one of those Everfest bombs.
Mm-hmm. We know how Everfest works. System reset, for whatever, whether or not it's worth it or not, has went up 1,220%. It is now a $10 base Majestic and a $20 base Rainbow Foil. I actually sold out of them quite
What is
quickly.
System Reset?
Okay, you pay X. It's a yellow block 3. You pay X, where X is the number of items you want to like flash out, and they flash back in. So they get all of their Steam counters back, right? They have to have crank on them, and you could crank them all and get your action points back. So there's obviously
what could possibly be synergistic with that?
There's some obvious synergies with Cerebellum, but it's kind of hard to pull off because the math is awkward. If you pay 3, if you pitch a blue to pay X is equal to 3, you flash out 3 Cerebellums, they come back in, you crank all 3 of them, then you technically only have 2 action points because System Reset does not have Go Again. So now you have enough action points to draw 2 cards and end your turn. So you draw 2 cards to replace the blue you pitched in the System Reset you play.
It does set up a future turn, though, with 3
Unless you get Warmonger's Diplomacy.
Right.
And then you just watch all your Cerebellums just go away because they'll be at 0 counters when it comes back to the next turn. The card really pops off on the double high octane turn because you just have so many extra action points. You actually get the full value of the gun charges. So you do something like high octane, like boost, generate 2 action points. You're sitting on 3 action points, shoot the gunshot twice, System Reset, flash all your items out, flash them back in, refill the gun, and then play a couple other boost cards off the high octane. Have a whole bunch of action points, shoot the gun some more, draw a bunch of cards, boost some more, shoot the gun some more. Like, you just do all of that. And it can get really silly because you could draw another System Reset and then do it again. So there's like this pie in the sky thing where you could shoot the gun like 15 times in a turn, kind of silliness.
Yeah, because that's just,
It only works, it only works literally off a double high octane. You need to have, and you have to kind of like draw your cards at the perfect time. And then what's funny is Enigma just plays Dense Blue Mist, and her Dense Blue Mist blocks for like literally 20 damage, and then her Phantasmal Footsteps blocks for 6. Like, you lose anyway. That's why I think it's kind of copium. You don't need it. You don't need it except against Victor because it doesn't beat Enigma as far as I can tell. I want to test it some more, but yeah, that's why System Reset's $10 for whatever reason. By the way, that card probably got down to like 30 cents or something at some point, didn't it?
Yeah, at its lowest. I mean, we'll scroll back a little. Let's scroll back a little bit here. There's 30 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents. That's back in October 1st, 25 cents a card.
Wait, October 1st?
So less than a week ago?
October 1st, you could have bought, somebody on October 1st bought 40 of them for $1.53 on TCG Player.
Okay.
Nice.
That guy's got Poison the Well math on his mind. I like your style, whoever bought those 40 of them. Thinking real smart.
Just flip them back for like $5 a piece even.
You're already having the time of your life. Moving on, all Met cards pretty much have seen some kind of increase. Twin Drive hasn't hit those high numbers as it did before. Heist is up to $30 right now. Base Majestic, they're sold out at Rainbow Foil except for 2 at $50. So my Heist actually just sold out today. And so I don't have any heists. I got a couple of twin drives that I'm holding out for, but yeah, no. Mech cards are on the rise.
The speculation is crazy. And twin drive, you didn't say what the actual price. It's like $45 a card right now. There's a couple at the 42, 43 range, and then it very quickly goes to 45, and very quickly after that starts jumping up into the 50s.
I see somebody I recognize at 45 and 50 on twin drive too. It's real interesting. Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
You got a good 45. Deal. A good deal.
Oh yeah.
Mech cards are expensive because, like I said, I think we've said this before. I liked Bright Lights a lot as a mech player, but I think that set was a bit underbought.
Yes, it was. Yes, I agree.
These Majestics are a bit rarer than some of the other set Majestics.
We're going to get to a couple of speculations. I just want to finish. Adaptive plating's up to $70 base rainbow foil.
Wow.
And welcome to the Bright Lights drought. I actually want to get more of the sets so bad now. I feel like I've missed a void because Teklo's not even popular. Once Teklo gets popular, I want you to watch those armor pieces.
Dude, Teklo is so good, actually. That hero is so good Enigma, right now. It's always like
can't beat Enigma.
He is so good, but always the best deck in the format absolutely dumpsters him. He's actually really good, but has a 0% win rate into Enigma.
And then we're gonna end because again, I mean, there's so many cards that are going up, down, left, right. But we're gonna end on the fact that Enlightened Strike has hit $50. And so Enlightened Strike has now a base $50 card. I think that I don't even think it's the loss of Art of War and some kind of like void. I think it's just the new heroes utilize it so well.
It's out of stock. You can't even buy it right now.
What?
Wow. Enlightened Strike.
No, there's some on there.
I just brought it up. Hold on. No, clear filters. I thought it was out of stock. Okay.
No,
I just had the filters. I was like, that's crazy.
But yeah, no, E-Strike works, right? Channel Valley, you're gonna draw a card. Go, I mean, go again with the Embodiments of Lightning. I don't know. I feel like Aurora could utilize E-Strike really, really well.
Yeah. There's this card called Current Funnel, which says.
Well, Current Funnel is a pretty good card.
Yeah, if the last action you played was a lightning action, this gets go again, and your next action gets go again.
Oh, so you're telling me I could E-Strike, draw a card with go again, and draw the card, and draw a card off of Valley that turn,
or 7 go again.
And now if I've got snappies, we're really going again.
Just be glad Tome of Aetherwind was banned. Can you imagine Acilio drawing 2 cards with go again for free?
We'd all be dead.
Oh man,
we'd all be literally gone in a flash.
No,
nice.
Or Tome of Findle, just out of Arsenal.
And we're gonna end it on speculations because I know everybody's thinking, I missed 40 system resets. How am I gonna where's my value? No, I missed the Poison the Will train because everybody thought it was real silly, right? That's okay. That's okay. That's what everybody thinks about my 50 Vipoxes in my binder until the day Vipox spikes, and everyone's gonna be like, no, that's the craziest call you've ever had.
Adult
Guys,
Benji win.
Oh man. Oh my God. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. CC will hit a value-centric meta with enough prevention to where they say, hey, if it's under 2, it's cool. And then I will be either Benji or Ira. Ira's already going to be literally, I'm stocking up Flick Flack. So listen, Mask of Momentum goes back up $100 as soon as Ira comes out and people realize that you're going to just fatigue value central. Okay. Ira is premier fatigue value. Okay. The Flick Flacks, if you can get them low, I still think those promos are going to pop up. Flame Scale Furnace, right? Get them now. There will be another uprising, I promise you, and Tome of Imperial Flame. It's the only legal book, okay? Outside of Tome of the Arcanite. Those are my picks. Go.
I actually agree. I think we'll get a Dromai replacement within the year.
There has to be. There has to be.
Soon.
The dragons are already, people are literally doing this. People are buying dragons at like 20. If you can find the Marvels cheap, get them. If you can find Tome of Imperials, foils, get them. Get your cold foil flame scale furnaces, get rainbow foils. They're going to double, triple, and I promise they will. because Fi will be a real deck, and I've been a Fi main my whole life. I've been waiting for this. Every CC event,
I hope
I'm
we
on
get a
Fi.
Draconic set and Fi is the worst Draconic, just to keep the meme going.
Oh, I know, it'd be great. He needs some help, please. Ellis says he needs more than some milk. He needs some help.
It's
He
the classic
doesn't need
ninja
very
problem.
much. He
Yeah, it's the
really
classic
doesn't need
ninja
Well,
very
he
much.
just lost Art of War, so my God, he needs something.
You keep pushing, you keep pushing a ninja, and then suddenly he's an unstoppable like damage output machine, and then they have to get something banned.
But he's got to have something.
I agree. Like, give the guy something. Like,
He's sad right now. He's big sad.
Yeah.
Help him out. We need another Dynasty set, and we need another Uprising.
there is a rogue deck list floating around. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't know a lot about it, but there is a rogue Fi deck list going around that is seeing some reasonable success, which is funny.
You heard it, Five Mains. Go pick up those flame skills. But seriously, I'm not joking. That ice cards don't sit on ice cards either. Channel the Bleak Expanse, channel Frigid Lake. Go buy them up like hotcakes. If you don't have 100 copies each, you're not playing it right. I promise. Easy value.
I might do that. I might go buy up some ice cards. I love ice.
Coronet Peak, $5.
It's gonna come back.
$4.30 right now. What are you doing? That card is amazing. It's like the headpiece from well, sort of like the headpiece that New has, but
Actually,
it's nuts.
man, should maybe buy them this month. Because what if we get an announcement? And it's Uprising 2, and we get Draconic and Ice.
We
announced?
are getting an announcement at
I'm
Worlds.
going to
New-
be specking hard,
James-
guys. This
James
is how
White
we
says
play.
we're getting young heroes at Worlds.
Oh, baby. Spec on your cards. I'm serious.
We
Spec
get a
on
new
them.
class in the next Armory deck as well. I think, like a completely new hero is the next Armory deck. There's something.
It's a new hero. I don't remember them saying anything
Yeah,
about a new
I
class.
didn't mean new class, just new hero.
Where's Dory Armory? Help me, please. She needs some help.
No, she
Or-
doesn't.
Help.
She just got a whole set.
I
She's
think,
fine.
hell no.
No,
Warrior,
she's not. She's
Well, to be
she's
fair,
so
Warrior
bad.
did get an Armory deck. It was Bolton, and he got
It's
some
not
sweet
real.
cards. Just play Bolton. Bolton's good.
I don't want to play Bolton.
Okay, well then play something not Warrior then.
I have all these. Yeah, I have to buy Aurora now, and until Ira comes out. I'm just placeholder waifuing until Dory comes back. So it's tough. Anyway, that's all I got. Seriously, speculate. If you ever want to hit me up on Discord, hit me up. We could talk specs. I'm happy to share it. I don't have to be the only one
Draconic and
poisoning the
Ice.
well.
I think that's great
Yeah.
advice, actually.
Seriously, I'm here to help you. You could be the
gosh.
next poison the well. I had 35 of them. You could be the next poison the well.
What if the next set is a return to Volcor?
It has to be. It's either this
It's
one or the next
Uprising
one. I
2.0.
promise.
They keep
we
printing
need one.
Ash. They gotta do. There's gotta be some reason. Like
The dragons are
those-
coming back.
Those Ash pieces are clearly not usable in Living Legend. Like,
No, there's no reason to keep printing them unless you were going to make an Ash centric, like you need the dust to do things and get rewarded for playing the dust. A way of making the dragons sticky without too wide and obnoxious. That's how they're going to remake.
it could be
Drillmine.
maybe they've become it's like tokens or something. Like it generates a Mirror Guy token on top of it, so it's you don't have that. You have like less active cards in the deck or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited to
Whenever
see.
you
They're
play a
definitely
card
gonna do
with
something.
dust in its name, yeah,
I'm
X happens.
I'm pumped.
Okay. All right.
Not-
So we
not
had
really, but I'm pumped.
we missed a week. Couldn't get our schedules to quite line up. So we
my
had
bad.
quite a few events
Sorry.
happen in the past 2 weeks, not including the Proquest. We had Calling Leon, which was packed. That was 470 person calling. Pablo Pintor took that down. He was on Enigma, not Count Your Blessings Enigma, even though a Count Your Blessings Enigma did get top 8. And so if you're following on the Twitter space at all, Rhea Adams said there would be the eating of Count Your Blessings on stream. Instead translated that to eating Count Your Blessings on a YouTube video. So that exists on YouTube. You can go watch someone eat cardboard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up because
I bet-
that's hilarious.
I bet it wasn't that bad, to be honest. It was probably
wasn't
semi
great.
The
tasty.
taste?
I mean,
I don't know.
You're-
Those cards smell good.
they're
They
not
probably
edible.
taste all right.
They're not edible. Like, there's no way there's good
I
for
mean,
you.
it's cardboard.
They've got glue on them, and they've got ink on
Whoa,
them.
whoa, whoa, whoa! That's just extra like fiber. Okay, get it in there.
It
All
depends
right.
on the kind of hot sauce you use.
It was Enigma versus Azalea in the finals. It was a pretty exciting finals to watch.
That was a
It
great
was.
game.
I would
Yes.
That was a
suggest
really
going
great game
watch
to
that masterclass on both heroes. The rest of the lineup in top 8 was Prism, Enigma, Aurora, Verdance, Enigma. No big surprise there. I think Nathan Crawford was very vocal during the Zen meta that as soon as Zen was gone, Enigma was just going to swoop in and kind of replace him.
Yep.
So we're seeing like Enigma is now half of a top 8. Not surprised.
Nope, that's the new big baddie. That's the boss of the format right now. Is your deck Enigma ready?
I'm going to go ahead and call it now. I miss Zen.
You don't.
Don't miss the Zen meta. But part of the things I don't like about Enigma are the same things I had a problem with Zen. I just don't like blocking with a headpiece and being able to pop off like your entire game plan by just blocking. Anyway,
Wasn't there a point on stream where one of the Enigma players was at like 76 life?
that's count your
and
blessings.
untouchable?
That's not an Enigma
Yeah.
problem. And in fact, if Enigma wasn't here, if they just said Enigma is deleted from the game, it'd be Teklevossen doing it.
Oh my god, a
I
tech
don't know
will
about
count your
that.
blessings. You guys are sick out there if you're doing that.
you
by
play
the way.
you play
You're
an
sick.
Evo for 4. What do you do with your other 2 resources?
Stop it.
How about gain 8 life?
Oh, stop. That's sick. LSS, what? Come on. This is like Yu-Gi-Oh grade stuff. Just count your blessings out. We don't need that much life gain.
We have options. Says the new player.
There is this card.
No, hold on.
Gravekeeping is a thing.
dude.
Gravekeeping is a thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
gravekeeping
thought we were
is
talking about
actually
poison the well.
probably better because you want to know what Enigma does if they know the opponent's playing poison the well.
Just don't gain life.
No, they arsenal the 1 life gain transcend card, and so they play
and then just
poison the well,
respond
and
to
then
it.
they just play the transcend card. Get zapped for 1 damage and then heal like 9.
That's
Please.
cheeky.
Yeah, it's pretty egregious.
That's when you activate your second poison the well and say, aha.
Yeah, to be fair, if you manage to kill them with that, you got them. But if you don't, that means you to play 2 blue cards that don't deal damage, and they just kill you with their board instead.
Well, you got to take that 9 damage now. That's gonna
It's
rip into
loss
some
of
of that
life.
ward.
It doesn't hit the ward. It's loss of life.
Wait, that doesn't count as damage?
What?
No.
I missed that. What?
Oh,
No.
yo,
You don't do anything
LSS,
to their board.
just a rat of that, and you got the problem fixed.
Loss of life doesn't make you pop your ward. Loss of life only damage makes you pop your ward. Y'all
Oh,
are
they
crazy.
need to rechange that to you don't lose life. You actually just take damage.
Oh.
Boo.
Just almost think of it as a good thing, right? Because that means you could still gotcha the Enigma through all her ward if she tries to do a fat counter
Okay,
blessing.
that's true too. So there's an upside in it. Okay, fine. I'll give yay. Good design, I
Yay.
guess. Sure, fine.
All
But
right.
just ban
There was
counter
also a
blessing.
battle hard in Tokyo. Only 149 players, but it's still pretty big for a battle hardened, especially
That's
in a
Only
new
100. I
location.
was gonna say only 100. That's pretty.
Yes,
Ugh.
that's big
that's
in a
big.
new location and a battle hardened. Picked up by Enigma though. Again,
Yeah, no surprise.
Enigma, Florian, Enigma, Aurora, Vincent, Florian. So very Rune Blade heavy. It was Enigma versus Rune Blades. So, battle hardened Milwaukee was hilarious. That was the Living Legend. This is the first Living Legend format tournament after the introduction of the new heroes, mainly Verdance. And we did see some crazy Kraken Aether Veins with giant fire breathings, and Kraken's Aether Vein was immediately banned.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Brian and James said on the dev talk, the entire Flesh and Blood community is basically noped out of that. That was gross.
Didn't I call it?
That was
I
obscene.
said someone's gonna draw 13 cards on stream, and everyone's gonna go, nope. We will make an exception about banning cards in Living Legend. This card is banned. So good.
I mean, it had to happen. Otherwise, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
just going to be, Kraken's Aether Vein
And
format.
Verdance and Kano. I mean, now it's just Kano, but at least
no,
it's
it's just Kano. Runegate Chain is pretty good. There is a very silly Briar deck with that new card. the regrowth shock or whatever. Yeah, regrowth shock, I think.
Good to see Briar out there.
You can basically draw your entire deck using it.
Oh man.
You do a combination of the things that make it ping for one when you do the attack with her specialization and the one that says
Force of nature?
whenever attack deals damage, force of nature. So you throw her specialization, it pings 3 times and then hits, and then you draw 4 cards, and then you play the regrowth again and get it back and do it again.
Outside of Living Legends,
by the way, all this is with several ball lightnings.
Oh yeah, because ball lightning
on the chain.
Yeah. I still have nightmares of CMH Force of Nature from all the way back in that battle hard in Atlanta, just sitting there. It was so bad. I just told my opponent, you just do it, because Michael Fang and Brody were playing next to me. So I was like, this is so much more interesting than this beatdown I'm trying to get right here. He was just like, CMH forcing. I was like, oh yeah. And I'm just over here looking like I'm dead. So
5 damage, go again, draw a card. 5 damage, go again, draw a card. 5 damage,
and I'm
go
sitting
again,
here
draw a
with
card.
my little Dory hand going, okay, yep, I'll block some out, watch this game, see, okay, bye-bye. But no, it's good. It's good to see Briar. You get to look good too with that Rosetta. If I haven't opened up all my stuff, but if I pull a Rosetta Thorn, oh man.
We also had Battle Hard in Washington this weekend. That was a sealed event picked up by Mara Ferris. Congratulations to her.
Mara.
Congratulations, Mara.
I think she's been questing to win a Battle Harden for quite a while now, so she was really excited.
Finally,
and on
finally
sealed
closed.
Other things, we learned where the Proquest is going to be, or not Proquest, Pro Tour. It's going to be in London, which I'm excited about.
What? Who do we know that could even potentially be going to London, though? That's crazy.
Well, other than the card guys, they show up to most of the events that are reasonable to travel to. London, probably. I'm probably going to London because I actually picked up a Proquest win this past weekend. We'll get to it. The last thing I want to note is I get spooked because High Octane gets a warning. So there was a dev talk where they talk about drawing cards and action point economy, and they said High Octane is potentially on the chopping block. It will exist up till Worlds, but could get a ban shortly after Worlds if it turns out to be good. However, I don't think Dash.io is going to win Worlds. I think Enigma is going to win Worlds.
I don't know about that, but on the dev talk note, I'd want to say thank you to LSS for doing those.
100%.
That is some of the best content that we have in Flesh and Blood, and for the head game designer, lead game developer, and CEO creator of the game to sit down and discuss all of the things that are happening in the game, that level of accountability that they showed and the level of openness, it's unheard of. It's unheard of in this industry.
Wait a minute.
Major shout out to them for doing it.
Are you telling me you don't want third-party councils just throwing ban waves out there that you have no?
Are you telling me that you don't want your 6 Gilded Lotuses that are in all 6 of your commander decks to suddenly become unplayable?
And you didn't even get a say, and they don't even play the game? That's crazy. I thought everybody likes things like that. No, it is so good to actually have them sit down and say, hey, look, and especially when Brian Gottlieb is saying hey, we're sick about some of these cards. We want to change these now, but we know that it has to be we're trying.
Don't ban High Octane until you have a replacement. How are you going to give a hero that could put 6 charges on a gun and not have a way to use the 6 charges? Better give me something.
They'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, there's more ways to cheat items in so that when you crank you get the additional action point. That works, right? If there's harder ways to get the High Octane effect rather than just paying 1 basically because you draw the card to replace it.
They could do something with the crank where crank actually gives the action point, or when you crank you get the action point but you don't lose the crank, or you can crank again. So there's a couple of ways to still give you some edge without literally being run over by High
more
Octane.
Things like BIOS update, but maybe not as impactful.
Or just something that gives your weapon go again for the turn in mech.
Oh my. By the way, Pulse Wave Harpoon's going through the roof. I forgot
that's
about
literally
that one.
That would do the same thing.
That sounds pretty sweet.
And it wouldn't allow you to do 50 different boost
something
cards.
That's interactive, right? If you've cranked an item this turn, your weapon gets go again. once
Yeah,
or something. Okay. Or the next
Something
time,
along
or
that
the
line.
next time you use your weapon, you get an action point, right? So that it like you're not giving, because you don't want to go again to the weapon, because then you just shoot for 12 for free.
Well, that's what you do
Or
with high octane right now, anyway, right?
no, you have to work for it still. Like it takes build up.
Yeah, you
Like
gotta work for it.
you gotta like survive disruption. You need to hold at least a pitch card and 2 boost cards. It's not as easy as you think when you have a lot of disruption stuff going down. And there are classes that have like really great direct counters to it. Dense Blue Mist, This Round's on Me, Frailty Trap, Codex of Frailty.
Good cards.
Are all things that kind of really hurt that. Anyway, yeah, so back to Proquest. So our first weekend of Proquest is done. Aurora and Enigma are overwhelmingly the winningest decks in Classic Constructed. Overwhelmingly. 23 wins for Aurora, 22 wins for Enigma. Third place is Azalea at 10. Fourth is New at 9. Fifth is Viserai and Florian at 7. And then it drops dramatically after that. So
yeah, the next name on that list is Zen.
Yeah, Zen is still winning games. I mean, ninjas pick up games, right? Because there's even a Phi win. No Katsu win this time around, though.
I would have been shocked if there was a Katsu. I really would have.
The most interesting takeaway here, other than Aurora being like really solid, I think people don't know how to play against her. I think there's some things that she's like basically stealing wins that first weekend. Enigma's just really good, and we're seeing that. People know the Enigma decks. So there's nothing really super new showing up in her deck other than the Count Your Blessings variants. But that deck is really powerful. I think another notable factoid is Dash may not hit Living Legend before Worlds, which we were pretty sure she was just going to scoop it up the last couple points she needed during ProQuest season, but she only picked up 2 wins.
I always kind of suspected she'd kind of drag her feet because there's just such a glut of good heroes in Classic Constructed right now. And she needed 90 points at the start of the season, and it's 5 points per win.
She only picked up 10 in the first weekend. So
10 points, not 10 wins.
Yeah, 10 points. Okay. Yeah, so
5 points each.
We had limited ProQuest here in Georgia at the Johns Creek location. We had 20 people show up, and I managed to pick up the win. So I've got my invite to London. I will most likely be going, so I'm really excited. This will be my first time out of the country, actually, so I'm pumped.
Cool. So walk us through the PQ, because I was not there because I forgot about it, and I'm not interested in sealed anyway. But go ahead.
Well, it was draft.
Dude, yeah.
Whatever.
So it was draft, and because it was 20 is actually a weird breakdown. It ended up being 8-6-6, I think, right? Yeah, 8-6-6.
It was an 8-pod, 6-pod, 6-pod, and then it was an 8-pod, 6-pod, 5-pod.
Yeah, because the person dropped after the first pod. The 8-pod was cracked. Had Andrew Lorenz in it. I think Jeremy was in the pod of 8. I was in the pod of 8, and I was like, crap. This is gonna be a rough pod, and you can lose it all here, right? You go 0-3 in the first pod, you're basically done. There's no way to win. I think because of the way the 6 pods ended up, there actually wasn't even an X3 in top 8. It was only X2s. So if you went X3, your run was already done. So I went life gain verdants. It wasn't super heavy on the life gain, but it was kind of what I focused it on. I wasn't doing the big spell verdants where I actually try to actively kill my opponent with spells. I think I had one exploding aether, the one that gives amp 3 or amp 2, amp 1, red, yellow, blue. And that actually worked pretty well. I managed to outlast the rune blades and mostly and beat out the wizards because I just had more value because I had a couple good attacks too. I went 2-1 there. I did drop a game to Andrew Lorenz. He was on on Aurora. So he managed to rush me down. And we actually kind of played out if I had taken a different line. And it turns out I punted. I know he has a burn up shock in his deck. We're playing the 2-0 game, by the way. So we're both 2-0. I know he has a burn up shock in his deck. Know it for sure. 100%. I know I haven't seen it, so I can even probably guess it's going to be in his hand. And my idiot self goes to 1. And then I play my cards. I go to gain life, and he's like, cards in hand? And I'm like, crap. I face palmed immediately. He's like, how many cards you got in hand? I'm like, none. And he just puts out the shock and says, you're dead. And we played it out. If I would have just blocked with a card and went to 3 instead, I had a deterministic win. Like, he plays his best hands, I play my best hands. There weren't even any really gotcha moments or anything. So I punted, but okay, we're 2-1, happy. Going into the next one, obviously the pot is going to now be difficult because the 2-1s and 3-0s are all going to be in the pot of 8. And it was difficult. And I'm sitting down and I'm drafting a couple lightning cards, and I'm like, oh no, I'm in the Ocilio seat. I didn't want to be in the Ocilio seat, but it was very, very clear I was in the Ocilio seat. I'm like, crap. I know the person to my right is probably playing Wizard, but I think the 2 people past him are playing Runeblade. It was very clear that Runeblade cards were going away very quickly. And I'm like, okay, just going to play Ocilio. I've never played him before in draft at all. I've only like looked at what decks could be successful. And so I built this Ocilio deck. I got 2 Comet Storms. I'm like, all right, feeling pretty good. And yeah, I got to do the really fun things. I got to do like a lightning attack into lightning pump into lightning attack into Comet Storm for 8. Those kind of things. So it worked out pretty well.
Cool.
I lost to a Verdance who basically just outlasted me, burned me down. And went 2-1 there. That got me my top 8. So sitting down in top 8, I know immediately, just because I know a lot of the people here, it's local scene, right? That a lot of them are Wizard players. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not losing to Wizard. Screw Wizards this table. My pack 1 pick 1 was Arcane Seed's Life. That's the really good Florian card that makes a rune chant, gains a life. So if you have Florian's ability online, it makes 2 rune chants, gains a life. So it's a 1 card 5. Very strong. So I'm like, this is like the antithesis of what you usually do. Usually you like stick with Earth, you stick with Runeblade, you stick with Lightning, you stick with Wizard. You choose one of those 4 and you kind of build up with that. But if you take one of the dual class cards, one of the meld cards, you're kind of saying, I'm maybe going in on playing exactly this hero, which can be risky. And I thought to myself, I'm going to go 0-3 or 3-0. It's top 8, so you go 0-1, you drop, you're done. But I was like, I'm going to draft an 0-3 or 3-0 deck. And I was seeing the cards wheel by, and I saw 2 blue Fertile Grounds. And I'm like, in general, people hate this card. I'm going to build my deck around taking advantage of these crappy cards people don't draft. So obviously I take the red Fertile Ground because that card's gas. This is the one that gains 2 life, and then the red version gains 5 life if you have 4 more Earth cards in your banish zone.
Okay.
But I end up drafting 2 blues, 2 yellows, and a red Fertile Ground. I drafted 1 yellow, I drafted 1 red off of the picks, but the 2 blues and the 2 yellows wheeled. So I basically got them for free. And then I picked up 3 Fruits of the Forest, and I picked up 3 Sigil of Deadwoods on wheels. All 3 of them were on wheels. And I'm just like, the archetype is all coming together. Wizards don't stand a chance. Like, there's just no way you can outvalue a Florian who has that much life gain and has like 3 Sigil of Deadwoods, right? And I was just like, I just have to beat the Runeblade I'm going to face. And round 1, it's Justin Evans on Aurora. And I'm like, no, just need to get past round 1, and hopefully all the Wizards beat up on all the other aggro Runeblades and win them and fatigue them out, and then I could just pick on the Wizards. And so I sit down with Justin, and I think it was like round 2, and he's like beating the crap out of me. I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure you were my final boss. I clean this table if I win this one here. And we're playing, and he gets me to 1 3 separate times. And there's one point he gets me to 1, and like my hand is just dog water. It's literally 2 yellow fertile grounds and a yellow fruits of the forest. I'm like, ugh. All right, gain 6, go back to 7. And he goes, oh, it's that kind of deck. And I'm like, yeah, it's that kind of deck. And so he comes at me with a 5-card hand when I'm at 7. I'm absolutely terrified. I dropped to 1 again. I think that's the turn. I think I took like 5 minutes to determine my block on that turn. I apologized several times. Finally came out to the right decision, pushed, managed to clutch out a win at 1 life. So
those are the best stories.
Yeah, it was, dude, I finally got to my pitch stack of like cards I knew that were going to get me the game. And it was like it was a Fruits of the Forest and 3 Sigil of Deadwoods. I'm like, we're good. I win now. Like, I just needed to get back to my Sigil of Deadwoods. And then I sat down across Will Bradshaw. He was on Verdance, and I crushed him. He said he thought he had a way in at one point, and I gained 9 life after swinging at him for 4 + 6 rune chance. And he was like, oh, well, guess I'm not winning this one. And then the finals was Battlehardened champion Jeremy Chen on Acilio. And even though I felt really favored into Acilio, I was pretty sure I could just fatigue him. It was already getting kind of late. Jeremy's my like really good buddy, and he's like, split? I'm like, yep, split. Easy split. So for the record, Jeremy, I'm pretty sure I would have crushed you.
You probably would have.
Dude, I had like 30 life gain. What's Acilio gonna do?
Cry.
Yep. But yeah, man, this is the
he
best
cracked the
limited
gold foil,
set.
right? He cracked the gold foil, right?
Yes, he did. It was a null rune.
He did. It was a null rune hood. We got it on
so maybe
on
a
recording.
small loss on value, but still a very good playable. I think uncracked envelope is if you're willing to wait, I think you can get rid of it for 600. But
I think the gold foil is it's a good playable. And just opening it was super
it's
cool.
not a Coat of Frost, right?
It's not a Coat of Frost.
Tunic.
It's not a Vest of the First Fist.
Yeah.
I didn't win it, but I did top 8 it.
You top 8 it. So congrats to Noah, who like with almost no experience.
Nope.
Got top
First
8
time I ever
and
drafted the
3-0'd
set.
one of his pods.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was funny. I was doing some like research beforehand, real quick, like, I gotta pick this, gotta pick that kind of a thing. And of course, I fell into Florian the first time. And I wasn't really good at reading, I guess, what was going on. One of either Will next to me should have been Verdance, which I think is what we determined. He should have went Verdance because he was like, well, I have a lot of life gain. And I'm like, why didn't he go Verdance? Because he like life gain fatigued me pretty much out of value when we played after I beat Justin Evans the first time on Aurora v Florian. I fatigued his Aurora in the first pod. I ended up going 1 and 2. I had no answer for Andrew Cook on Acilio. So by the time like he just like pretty much surged me for like 12 every turn, and I was like, dude, I can't physically take any of this. All the life gain Will took because he should have been Verd. So there was no, so like that's what I was like, okay, Florian, Earth, you need some kind of life gain. Wizard just runs you over. So I put that in the back of my mind. 1-2, went to the next pod, and it was funny. Like Will opens up like this cold foil like helm of the Earth helm, and this is after I've picked a red cadaver tilling and an Earth headpiece, and I'm thinking, and I look, and he just has this glint, and I'm thinking, oh no. And so I start looking at the cards, and I go, okay, I'm not doing this again. I'm not playing Earth Hero across from another Earth Hero. And so I switch into Aurora instantly, and I just start picking lightning cards. I get a good mixture. I felt like the deck was okay, and I 3-0 the pot. I played Aurora via Aurora. Jose was on Aurora, and everybody thought he had a pretty cracked deck. Because nobody around him was lightning. He was just getting fed all the pretty much all the cards. But I like chained together some really I had Malefic Incantations red, and so I chained together these really rune chant heavy stringers and would just finish with like hit the high notes for 9+3 rune chance, and it just like you just could not off of like Oath of the Arknight. You can't like
I
take
think
that
your
damage.
deck had like 2 cussings in it.
Yeah. And so I was doing like, all right, and I had a full suite of equipment. I came out that first draft with 1 Rude Blade hands, and I said that's not happening again. So I came in full suite the next time on Aurora, and I was using the gloves plus popping it for the rune chant for the extra resource, and I mean I was making it work. And then I played against Justin Evans after being 2-0. I played against Aurora, and then I played against Acilio. It was a pretty much a stomp on the Acilio. I think it was over by like 3 turns. Because I literally just like I played it like a mile a minute. I knew I wasn't going to be able to play anymore in like 3 or 4 turns with that limited deck. And then I played against Justin Evans, who was on, I think he was on Verdance or he was on Florian. It was one of the Earth Heroes, but I ended up killing him at 1 life. I had to go to 1 life, and he's joking. He's like, that's really good if you have a Direward Dirge. And I was like, speaking of that, I was like, I do have that. So I play out I like block in such a way where I actually have to pitch my Yellow Fry to the Sanctuary and then pitch the Trip the Light Fantastic just to save myself from arcane damage and go to 1. And then I play a Vantage Point with 4 Rune Chance Overpower and pretty much seal the deal with that. And it was Xaxes. And so I was like, oh, there's 3-0. And then I made top 8. And then I lost Andrew Lorenz in the first round off of.
So
it was an okay Aurora deck. I probably should have played Acilio.
Your emotions were so on your sleeve because you were to my left. And like my pack one pick one, as I said, was Arcane Seeds. And then I picked Helm of Ligma and then 12 Grounded. Like I'm just
all right,
picking up this armor now. Because I could have definitely went 3-0 on my first draft, but I was actually completely naked Verdance. I didn't have a single piece of gear. But he's nose to my left going, ugh, ugh, ugh. Like, and I'm like, oh man, Noah's just having it. He's not in his seat, and I'm the way I'm passing to him, like, I bet he went Aurora, and he's like, I should have been a silly. But I don't know how to play a silly.
Yeah, like it like the lightning cards felt there, and then like I felt like I had some really silly picks. There was a pick where I took the Runaways because I didn't think Twinkle Toes was going to wield, and Twinkle Toes wheeled, so Runaways was a terrible pick. And then I think I overvalued blues, and I should have just less blues. I passed some red arcane cussings and dirges that I probably should have just taken and like just shored up the rune chance. I drew an all blue hand, and Lorenz hit me with 4 rune chants past turn 0, then came at me next turn out off of like 6 rune chants sword swing, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do off of an all blue hand? And so I literally I can't even take the damage in return, and I have to literally just shove my whole hand to block and prevent, and then I have no hand. I pass back, and now Florian literally has tempo while he's outvaluing me, and I just lose. He also gained about 9 life on the game, ended with 4. So it was like there was still some pressure, but by the time I got going, it was like, okay, well,
yeah. I'm glad you left the cussings in the pool, because I picked up I had 2 red cussings, even though I didn't have the chess piece. I had 2 red cussings, and they were integral to my strategy.
It was like I don't know. There's definitely some inexperience showing, but it was.
Let's cap off with like how do you win? Like I think you pretty clearly hit it on the head with your Aurora deck, because I think if you look at your Aurora list, and we can maybe put the lists up in the video description, some of our winning decks, you had rune chant generation. Despite being Aurora, you had rune chant generation, and you can go pure lightning Aurora. It's fine, but you will compete if there's another Acilio in the pod who wants to go lightning heavy. You'll compete with them. But the rune chant generation is so important. There's so little ways to prevent. Earth actually has like none. They have their boots, and then they have the macro that you start with. Other than that, they have to try to outgain on life, prevent the rune chants. And then same thing, like Wizards are doing arcane, so arcane damage is the name of the game. Like in a set that has no arcane barrier, clearly arcane damage is like the strong defining cards here. And I learned that the previous weekend when I went to a draft camp, because I wasted 2 draft practices trying to play mid-range Florian, and I went 1-2. I thought my deck was really good, super high value. I would like play a strong yield, swing the sword. I'd play Cadaverous Tillings for 8. Didn't matter. I just got blasted by big wizards or just chipped down by rune chants and died. So
You know, it's funny. I was listening to the M&R cast the other day, and Michael Hamilton was saying, uh, well, Michael and Roger were both saying pretty similar things, that the mid-range decks just aren't as
garbage.
good as people thought.
They're like actively bad. You can be mid-range as long as you have a way to pivot out of it and just blow your opponent up. So if you're like looking for a hand, right? So I called my Acilio deck that I went 2-1 with in the second draft. I called it mid-range Acilio because I was just really patient. You know, all the wizard spells block for 3. So I was just really patient. And then when I saw the busted Comet Storm hand, like red Flittering into red Electrostatic Discharge into yellow Fry into Comet Storm for 8, I'm like, I'm no longer mid-range now. I'm just going to aggro you down for the rest of the game. If you have those, it works pretty well to be mid-range, but you can't just go, oh, I'm going to Cadaverous Tilling for 8 with Florian, because you're just going to get beat up. Especially if anyone has, they took the life gain cards that you really need. If they took them from you, eesh, it's bad.
That's easy. That's easy block. Let me return value, gain life, or even like, oh, I'll take the 8, heal. I'm going to hit you back. You're going to try and outvalue me off of limited attacks. And so I still firm believer swing the sword, especially if you're playing Florian. If that's your kind of game plan, then have that game plan. As Aurora, though, you definitely need that hybrid. Meet and Greet is a good card,
but yes,
only if Arcane has hit. And so
no, it's just good. You don't want a bunch.
Well, blocks for 3. It's.
I drafted 1 red and 1 yellow in my winning deck, and those cards were so high impact. They either basically stole my entire opponent's hand because they're just like, I'm going to dump the whole hand and make sure this doesn't have go again, or it won the game on the spot. Basically,
like I'm thinking like Aurora. Are you thinking you got to have your lightning starter? Well, I mean, do you? I mean, like I had lightning surges, and so I could come out of Arsenal with lightning surge, and that gives my weapon, that gives me the ability. But if I go lightning surge with arcane on hit, you take damage. Now my meet and greet has go again. Now my hit the high notes is like it spells success. It really does. Don't sleep on Root Ranger Swarm, and then even just throw in the Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus
for 3
better in Lightning Heroes than it is in, it's better in Aurora than it is Florian because you can give it go again with Aurora.
Yeah,
but
I had a good time though.
The splintering one, the one that breaks a aura to create more enchants is really good in Florian. In my opinion, the best Earth card that has decompose other than Carapace, because that D-React is crazy. You get to decompose without losing health. The best non-majestic decompose is Summer's Fall. My God, that card is wild.
Yeah, that's the one that nixes the aura from your opponent, right?
No, it nixes an aura of your choice and puts it on the bottom of the deck. So you can kill an embodiment of lightning. You can kill a single rune chant that was sitting there. You can put your own arcane cussing on the bottom of your deck.
Yeah. No. The playability of that is insane.
Yep. It is putting an arcane cussing on the bottom of your deck is one of the most back-breaking things you can do. And it's funny enough because I don't think Cadaverous Tilling is even good anymore. After playing several times, I think red Cadaverous is a huge bait. Blue is fine. Yellow is okay. I think in general red is bait because you can't pitch it. And to play it, like the card is almost unplayable until if you go up against big arcane wizard and you draw a red Cadaverous, that red Cadaverous is swinging under rate. Because they're not going to throw attacks at you for you to block.
Yeah.
So how are you going to get Earth cards into your graveyard?
That's
You're going to throw the Cadaverous anyway because it's red and you can't pitch it. Like Summer's Fall though always feels good because it starts at that base value. It's a 2 for 6, so I like that quite a bit. That's my favorite one. I think all colors of Summer's Fall is great. Cadaverous is way lower than I thought it would ever be. Clearly the majestic ones are bombs, but I found the perfect number that you go for is 4. 4 is all you want. You can even run off 3. Some decks can even run off 2, but you basically have to make sure you play them if you draw them right. I also found the deck that I drafted having 5 Fertile Grounds seems like a liability, but knowing for sure that you're going to be able to put an Earth card in your graveyard almost guaranteed on turn 0 is pretty sick. because no matter if you go first or
That's
second,
true.
because going first is so strong in this format, which is really cool. I actually like that. But the fact that if you do go second and the person's just like swing at you with a card, make an embodiment of lightning, arsenal pass, and you go, okay, I'll gain 2 life off this fertile ground, or I'll discard this fruits of the forest, gain 2 life, and go ahead and start the game with earth cards in graveyard. Not only that, let's say if you were playing red cadaverous and you have that in your hand and the person swings into you, you could even go ahead and block with Helm of Ligma and put that into the graveyard so you can have the extra earth card. It's really good.
I purposely did not like swinging into Earth Heroes for that reason. And so if I was first against an Earth Hero as Aurora, it was mainly to set up some way, hopefully, and then just Arsenal pass. But like, it was one of those things where I was literally contemplating, like, do I really want to go first or second? But the thing is like, I don't want to swing in and give you decomposed targets.
I still think you need to go first, which is wild that all 4 heroes want to go first, because setup is so important, because it's a synergy set, right? Every hero needs synergies. So the easiest way to synergize is to have 5 cards.
Yep. And be ready to pretty much unleash.
Yeah, I think that's my basic summary of like what you need to look for. Acilio, you're looking strictly for synergies. Aurora, your swing Starfall every turn. Just fatigue your opponent or kill them, one or the other. Verdance is really cool. She's got a lot of different ways she could play. She can kind of go a little bit stompy. She can go big spell, where basically she only runs wizard cards and you just use the staff for amp 1. Or you can go life gain and try to kill them with life gain pings, right? Florian can go aggro or life gain. I like the life gain variant a lot. I think that deck is super good. So just make sure you have a game plan. When you're drafting, just think, this is how I want to win the game. I know that's like general advice for drafting, period. But you can't go, oh, this is high value, I'll get that. Oh, this one's high value, I'll get that. This one's high value, I'll get that. No, that blue Deadwood Dirge might be exactly the card you need to pop off, right? Because it's easy to pitch down to the bottom, and you use it to break a arcane cussing at the end of the game to go up to 5 rune chance. Or 6 rune chance, right? 6 rune chance. Yep.
Yeah.
And then my advice for Proquest coming up is, if you don't have a way to beat Enigma and Aurora, you're probably going to have a bad time.
Talking about for this weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend after next, that's when the Dio Armory deck is legal.
Oh, and then just hopefully when you face up against Enigma, hope she just doesn't draw a Deep Blue Mist.
Yep.
Or this round's on me, or Dissolve Reality.
I've had a thought. We've talked a lot about Dio this podcast, and have you considered going back to Dio and maybe redoing your deck tech from a while back? Like, you did that deck tech before you got the first Living Legend points on Dio. So it's due for an update.
Yeah, because we could mention system reset. I might do another deck tech. It will. The thing is people would want it before Worlds, but
yeah,
I can't give up tech before Worlds, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, I can understand that. Maybe you save it for Worlds, because if you do bring it to Worlds, or are you playing in Worlds?
I'm not playing in Worlds, but I'm helping people prepare for Worlds. So I can't. The thing is, like, even if I try to like separate myself, maybe I'm using knowledge I'm not supposed to share with others to make a video. I don't want to do that.
That's fair.
But Dash.io is definitely a force to be ready for, because Cerebellum and Fast and Furious are both cracked cards. The gloves suck, though. Sad.
Okay, just a thought. Yeah, I've had it in the back of my head, and I was just trying to find a way to, ask about it before we close things out.
I mean, they're just going to ban High Octane after Worlds and make me sad anyway.
Well, now they are, because you asked them to. They weren't going to do it before.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas.
Yeah,
thanks a lot. Now everybody's. I know
trust.
Nobody's going High Octane.
It says draw a card and do lots of action points. It's like the antithesis of their current card game design round. Even though they printed some boots that say get lots of action points, and they printed a sigil that says draw lots of cards. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
lightning Runeblade boots.
Those lightning boots are pretty good.
They're kind of crazy.
They do say get action points.
Yeah. And a lot of them too.
Mm.
All right.
Are action points bad? It's got to be the name of it.
Are action points bad? I
They
mean,
might be.
It's so contextual. Depends on like how many points of value are you getting out of each action point. All right.
Oh well.
Anything else, Noah?
No, just if you haven't had a chance to play limited, hopefully there's a limited event near you. Even if you're new to draft, go out there, have some fun, pick some cards. I mean, really enjoy these heroes. It's some of the most fun limited.
It's also very forgiving.
It is. There's plenty of time to kind of pivot, understand what's going on. It feels good. It's a feels good. Have an answer for Arcane. Have life gain. If you're playing CC, please have a game plan for Enigma and bring some AB in against Aurora. You're gonna play those hybrid.
Yeah, you need AV1.
Be smart. Be smart.
Yeah, I learned that lesson.
I'll give some more advice later when we talk about my favorite 2 cards now. But other than that, Donnie, where can everybody find you on social media?
Draco Hominus 87, everywhere social media is sold. Mostly Twitter, mostly Discord. That's about it as far as the social media things go. I am in the Cult of New, which I am hoping to start picking up again now that I'm not slaving away at school and trying to get that chat restarted. It's been a little slow in there, and I apologize to anybody listening that's a part of that Discord. I am going to try to pick things up again. Also, fabric.gg, I write a couple of different article series. The next one I think is going to be another UPF brew, and it's going to be in a couple of weeks. The last one was a UPF brew for Florian, which I thought the deck list turned out pretty good. So if you have any interest in Florian for UPF, or maybe trying something spicy for Blitz, take a look.
It uses Impending Doom, right?
Looming Doom.
Looming Doom.
Looming Doom Florian.
Sounds fun.
It's cool. It's a cool list.
All right.
Thomas, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Wet the System Fab on Twitter and Wet the System pretty much everywhere else. Almost every night I'm hanging out in the Card Guys Discord. So if you ever want a conversation with me, I'm usually there.
Just go shout at him for those DO texts. He'll eventually give them to you. Some of them. You can find me at BigMaxFab on Twitter. I'll also be doing the pack cracks pretty much every day, trying to keep that consistent. I still have plenty of Rosetta. I have 3 cases and 2 boxes that I haven't even touched, so it's been a slow roll. So I might do like some kind of opening stream, maybe play some Aurora this weekend or something like that. Since it might be a 3-day weekend for me, weirdly enough.
You're a stronger man than I am, dude. I could not sit on all that product.
I want to open it, but I also want to enjoy opening
Aurora
it.
cards
So
sitting on thousands of cards worth of product that he hasn't even looked at.
Yeah, I know. I need Aurora cards though, so I got to open them up and then see what I need, then go get Aurora cards. But you can catch me there. And if there's nothing else, I gotta thank you for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed catching up with us this week, and if you did, subscribe or follow depending on where you found us to catch us again next time. Until then, take care of yourselves, play some limited out there, enjoy your Proquest, and remember, we're all siblings in cardboard. And you don't need a deck tech to figure out that Plow Under is each hero, and you gotta discard cards to pummel. I promise you. There's no deck tech needed. Boom. In there, boom, Plow Under. Happened at PQ. Guess what my opponent did? He Plow Under his own arsenal. Just do it. Take care.
If the card, the special promo for London is not a extended art pummel, we riot.
Come on, LSS, get on it. Take care, guys.